Hi, my name is Carlos Trujillo, and I'm a professional off-road racer from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and CEO of Instrumental LLC. I own a 1450 Pro Truck, and I race in the Pro UTV class as well. I've been on TV many times, multiple interviews highlighting my talents. I've raced in the 2018 and 2019 World Championship, finishing as high as 8th in my class. I've been able to work with great partners along the way, and I'm truly blessed when it comes to off-road racing. If you want to know the steps it takes to be a professional off-road racer, this is what it takes. Hi everybody, welcome to Racing Secrets. I'm your host Carlos Trujillo. Today we're going to talk about not believing the hype, not getting caught up in it, not overwhelming yourself, not seeing all the big things that are going on with the big money and the racing and the internet and other people and everything that has everything to do with it. It's about not getting caught up in all of that. So anyway, I'm going to dive right on into it. You know, you got to stay humble. You want to stay humble down to the core of who you are. If you're not humble, people aren't going to want to be a fan of yours. If you're not humble, if you're really not down to earth, then you come across as arrogant, you come across as ingenuine. You really are just someone that nobody wants to really say, oh, I can't wait until that person is successful. The more humble you are, the more people are going to be proud of you, the more successful you get. Simple as plain. Simple as plain. Don't sell your soul. There's a lot of people out there that think, if I just do whatever everybody wants, if I become a slave to everything out there that's trendy, you wind up selling your soul. You're on to the next trend, on to the next trend, on to the next trend. Stick to your principles. Stick to who you are. Stick to what you really believe inside of you. Be humble. Don't get caught up in all of that. Don't sell your soul. You want to wake up being happy with where you're at in your career. It's never going to be enough. And believe me, I've fought it before in my life, because especially when you see the success of other people that you know you're a faster racer than they are, you know that you can really leave it all on the track, but these people are getting picked up by sponsors. They're not even that good, and they're out there getting to travel the world, and they're getting paid to do what they love, and maybe you're a better racer, but they might be just better at marketing. And it doesn't make them a faster racer. It doesn't make them more of a champion, anything like that. It just makes them somebody that sells products. Somebody that the sponsors are like, wow, that's a good face, and we can use them as a model, and, you know, no matter how much they suck on the track, they're just still going to get paid. And I've gone through that, where you're thinking to yourself, why do those people deserve that? You know, and it leads you down a road of unhappiness, and you start to wake up feeling unfulfilled with what you're doing. You start to question what you're doing, and you know, it's a tough long road. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to get handed to you. You can be the faster racer, you can be the better athlete, but until you put the whole package together, you're not where you're supposed to be. It's all of it all together, and that way, you know, you can see, you know, the hard work that you put in. You take it one race at a time. If your car is prepped, if your promotional, you know, advertising, everything you do for those races, everything you do to better off, one race at a time, it will start to add up. And sometimes you get to the point where you're barely squeaking by. You're barely making it from one race to the next, because you don't have sponsors. Because everything you have to put every dang dollar, every day, every last bit of energy you have to try to compete with these people that can just waltz around with these giant sponsors that, you know, what are you going to do? You got to compete against them. You have to beat them at their own job. And you have to run circles around them and find better, newer avenues to create the world that you want to live in. The real professional racing world that you strove to get there and you were putting in the work to do. Your health, your preps on your car, all of that. You're promoting yourself. You know, everything you can do. I really, I can't stress it enough that there's a lot of hype out there that, you know, you can't believe it. You really can't believe any of that. That's why I'm here talking to you guys like this. I don't want to have a bunch of big production. I don't want there to be a huge camera crew and a bunch of other people involved. This is Racing Secrets from me to you. If you guys hit the like, the share, the subscribe, the notifications, that'd be cool. But I'm not here for that. I'm here to actually give real racers a leg up. Somebody that really, really, really wants to do this and can't compete against all that hype, all the internet, all the other big sponsors out there. These are steps that it takes. If you're going to really be humble inside of yourself, if you're going to be happy with where you are, if you're going to be taking it one race at a time, you can't get distracted by all that hype. That's a bunch of nonsense, really and truly. It's, you know, part of the hype of racing, but it has nothing to do with you and your team and your success. Leave it alone. And, you know, you want to get to the finish line. You want to get to the finish line on the track, and also you want to get to the finish line in life. If you can pursue your life, be happy with your life, get to the end of it and say, I gave it my best shot, then that's the best you can honestly do. Then it was your destiny, and that's where it got you there. You know, the hard work pays off. It will pay off, you guys. I know it will pay off because it paid off for me. And you guys have the same opportunity that I do, starting from absolutely nothing. It's only up from here. You know, don't believe other racers. Don't believe their hype. All these other racers, some of them have money. You know, they come from rich families. Some of them are just hand-chosen because they're a pretty face. And that's what the sponsors want, is a pretty face. They don't want somebody that's a real hard racer that actually lives a real racing life. Don't get caught up in other racers. Don't get caught up in their hype, because it's a bunch of crap. It really is. You know, for me, my personal journey is I came self-funded. Everything I had to do, I had to grind. I had to work my butt off. When I first started racing, I was sleeping in my truck. When I first went and started helping people out, every dollar was out of my pocket. And I would have to go for a week on end, 2 weeks on end, barely eating, barely making it by. You know, I wouldn't even have a room, money for a room to buy a hotel room, because I would be stranded. I'd be completely stuck. And little by little, I kept grinding it out. I kept showing up. I was paying my dues, just doing what I had to do. And it gave me the sense of pride that I can stand on my own 2 feet. I can stand on solid ground, and it's not hype. None of it. That's the beauty of it, is that if you build your resume, if you worry about your team and what you can do every single day, it will start to pay off. It's not hype at that point. A lot of these other teams, it's hype. If you know that you've put in the work, nobody can take that away from you. And it's never hype. You got to believe in your ability. If you believe in your ability, then it will. Your ability to win races is what makes you a professional racer. Selling things, having a big Instagram or a big YouTube following, having a bunch of people that, you know, they look at you like you're the face of these products, it means absolutely nothing when it comes to winning races. Absolutely nothing. Because then a lot of the time, those people get ridiculed because they are awful. They're not that good. And it's a bunch of hype. And so you're setting yourself up to fail. If you don't believe in your own ability, you are setting yourself up to fail. You have to believe in your ability more than anybody else. There's no way around that. You know, you get to a point where you start to see the benefits of it. You start to see things starting to progress. When you become a little bit more successful, when you start to get a leg up in the racing world, don't rub it in other people's faces. Don't act like you're snooty or you're better than anybody else, because every single other racer, unless they started with a ton of family money or they got handpicked because they're just a pretty face, everyone has to start from somewhere. And so you keep that humble mentality. You be really down to earth and and approachable. So that way, when you're talking to people, they're looking at you as a glimpse of themselves, saying, "Wow, if he can do it, I can do it." And make them believe in themselves. Help people believe in themselves. Be proud of them and talk to them in a way that it's uplifting. You're able to put people in your shoes, and people really appreciate that. It has a lot to do with being genuine. You want to help people. You want to not rub it in their face. It completely is distracting and is not the reason why you got there. If you're trying to get there so you can act like you're Mr. Cool Guy, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You're doing it for the hype. then you're a hype man at that point. If you're one of those, then you're a hype. And you got to be yourself. You want to be kind. You want to leave a legacy of good. Being able to have a long-term relationship with your fans, a long-term career that people over 10, 20 years, they're saying, wow, he didn't go Hollywood on us. He didn't completely switch it up and go with every single trend there was. You're just being yourself. You're being kind to people. You're leaving that legacy of good. And you're not trying to get people to be envious. You're trying to get people to follow your path, not to separate and ostracize and polarize yourself from the regular people that you were once. And you still are. Deep down, you still put your pants on one leg at a time. You still eat meals like everybody else. You gotta take it serious, because it's easy to get caught up in the hype. It's really easy to get caught up in the hype for a lot of people to do. If you're not grounded, then it will. And I want you guys to hit me up in the comments if there's anything that you guys need. I'm here for you, because I'm not here for the hype. I'm here for you guys. This is what it's all about. If you need information, hit me up. That's what it's for, dude. And keep the faith. If you can really, really keep your faith, and I mean faith in your craft, faith in your ability, faith in who you are as a person, as a human being, being kind, being generous with your time, with your energy, with everything. You keep the faith. If you sell your soul to any old thing that's coming along, and you're going to get taken for a ride. If you're willing to do that, you are going to get taken for a ride, and you will become part of the hype machine. And you can't believe in that. You really honestly can't, because it'll hang you out to dry. It'll hold your whole life up as a hostage of, you either do this or you're nothing. And the hard work you could spend on dedicating it to yourself, to your health, to your craft, to everything you're doing that's going to help you win races, it has nothing to do with getting caught up in every other hype that's out there. That's what it takes. There's no way around it. So, just to wrap things up, I want to, keep it kind of short on this one. You stay humble. Don't sell your soul. Take it one race at a time. One race at a time. If you can win one race at a time, or get on the podium or the top 10, you're going to start to make waves. You're going to start to make ripples. People are going to look at that. They're going to be watching the race and they're going to say, who is this guy? And that's where you'll start to get sponsored. That's where you'll start to get a part of the bigger scene. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to take it one race at a time. And, screw those other racers and screw their hype. Don't get caught up in it. All the comments and the likes, all the things that you do, even if you're just commenting on someone's video, it's helping them out. The amount of time that you're spending watching other people's videos or commenting on it or doing all that stuff is taken away from what you need to get done. And it's helping them out. You're getting them paid. You're a part of the hype at that point if you're a part of that big machine. The algorithms, the people that are out there, trying to capitalize on this stuff. there's a lot of sharks in the water. There's a lot of greedy people that are involved in any kind of advertising across the board, whatever it is. And racing has a lot to do with advertising. So a lot of those people are all hype. They have nothing to do with you being successful, taking it one race at a time, being yourself. And, you know, when you're taking it one race at a time, when you're not, you know, listening to all the other hype and all the other stuff going on out there, you start to really believe in your ability. And believing in it, having your faith, when you really push yourself and you really, really, really want to be successful, there's nothing that's going to stop you. Nothing.
My style. My style. My style. My style. My style.
Make sure to check us out on Instagram under #InstrumentalLLC. If your company needs any testing or feedback for your product or advertising, contact Instrumental LLC. And thank you for your time for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed.